Hey Krennic and crew. Today, I am going to give you a traffic generation update and show you more ways that I have found to generate traffic to my music blog. I also give you some advice on how not to promote a music blog, plus advice on stock images. So, stay tuned and I will tell you more. Just before we get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast episode, I would like to give Loop Cloud a quick mention. If you would like a library of more than 4 million loops, one-shots, MIDI files and much more, you should choose Loop Cloud. This incredible library even allows you to store your own audio files, find similar loops that are rhythmically and harmonically suitable for any loopmaster's loop and much more. You will find the link for Loop Cloud in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to grab your free copy of the Complete Guide to Music Marketing 2021. This covers more than 80 pages of advice, guidance, resources and aha moments to enable you to promote your music more successfully both online and offline. Find the links for both of these resources in the comments section below. If you have read some of my older blog posts at krennican.com, I talk about how you can share your music blog content with maximum potential. This is different from blogging about social media, weight loss, or making money online as a music blogger. Therefore, in this podcast episode, I aim to show you how to discover new ways to promote your music blog. I will give you some advice on how not to promote your music blog. Also, some advice on stock images. This podcast episode was initially published as a blog post at krennican.com. The links for websites mentioned in this podcast episode are listed in the description below. Please be aware that some of these are affiliate links. Therefore, if you click on them and make a purchase, I will make a small commission. This is at no additional cost to you. Thank you in advance for your support. Let's start with how not to promote your music blog. This is one of the biggest reasons for writing this post. There are certain websites to avoid as a music blogger. Perhaps the biggest of these is Pinterest. Although many people swear by Pinterest for other blog niches, music is not a good fit. If you are using Pinterest to drive traffic to your music or music blog post, I would advise you to cut your losses and try something else. Later in this podcast episode, I will give you some great ways that you can generate more traffic to your music blog. A word of warning. If you are using Pinterest for blogging at the moment, I would advise that you don't invest huge amounts of money in new stock images for a music blog. I got into a contract with a larger stock image site and they expect a large payment every month for a year. If you're in popular Pinterest blog niches, that is not a bad thing. In that case, you probably are fine to invest that kind of money. If you need to get stock images for a music blog, I would strongly advise against it. However, if anyone expects you to be tied in for a year's worth of anything, I would forget it. If it doesn't work out, you only stand to lose a lot of money. How to discover new ways to promote your music blog with a podcast. The reason I am showing you how to discover new ways to promote your music blog with a podcast is that you can drive traffic from your podcast to your website and blog posts with a mention in your podcast. What if people mishear your podcast and can't find your website? If you name your podcast after your website, it is obvious what it is. For instance, if I call my podcast the Krennic and Music Marketing Podcast and mention in the podcast that the post can be found at krennican.com, people will only search for krennican.com under the proper domain. Host your own podcast. As a musician, you should be looking at audio channels. This can be audio and video such as Facebook video, Instagram IGTV or YouTube. However, I would also recommend that you start a podcast. I will be making a blog post on how to start your podcast in the near future. If you do want to start a podcast to support your blog, you can find everything you need at Libsyn. Also, I highly recommend this free course from John Lee Dumas, creator of Entrepreneurs on Fire. A podcast can drive literally tons of the right traffic to your website. This is because Libsyn can submit your podcast to all the top audio websites. These include places like Spotify, SoundCloud, Deezer and more. Libsyn does cost something, but if you enter promo code FIRE when you sign up, you get the rest of the current month and the following month for free. So you don't have a great voice, neither do I. If you are concerned that you don't have a great voice for running a podcast, you are on common ground. Many people don't have a great voice. I don't have a great voice. That is why I use artificially intelligent voiceover software that has a great voice and you can use it too. Furthermore, it doesn't cost a ton of money. I purchased it one time for well under $100. I don't remember how much it was exactly, but I was very happy with the cost. I also advise you to share your podcast on your current YouTube and SoundCloud accounts. There will be a version that is submitted by Libsyn. However, you can submit another copy to your currently existing profiles and channels too. You own the copyright on both videos. Therefore, you are perfectly and legally within your rights to share your own content. Send your content viral with Hypedit. As always, I highly recommend that you use Hypedit to share your podcast. The promotion exchange is included in your account. Therefore, you should be making maximum use of it to drive traffic to your podcast. I have been using SocialBee to schedule my social media posts. This was a deal I found on AppSumo, so I have a lifetime account at a knockdown price. I can use SocialBee to schedule X number of posts for each blog posts and even say when I want each post to go out. If you don't already use a scheduling service, I can highly recommend SocialBee. There is a lot of fun stuff going on the Facebook page now. Don't forget to visit and like it. I also like to use Content Studio to share my blog content. The good thing about using Content Studio, apart from the sharing features, is that it will also automatically post to my Medium account. This is particularly good because Medium has a high domain authority. Therefore, it gives my blog posts a search engine boost when I link to KMMP003. If you're good at writing, you can discover new ways to promote your music blog with Yoast Premium. I always recommend using at least Yoast Free. However, if you want to get more Google traffic, I can also recommend Yoast Premium. With the premium version of Yoast, you get up to 5 times the search engine power as you can include your 5 best keywords. Yoast Premium is £105 per year but is well worth it. I have seen a dramatic increase in my search engine traffic. I hope you have found a lot of value in this post and that you now know how to discover new ways to promote your music blog, how not to promote your music blog, and that you are more confident in using stock images for a music blog. If you can tick all the boxes, I am a happy chappy. Thank you for listening to this podcast episode. If you have appreciated this post in any way, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Also, don't forget to hit the bell to be notified of all the forthcoming videos. If you are listening on SoundCloud, please follow and share this episode. Thank you. Have a fantastic day and I will talk to you again very soon.